Welcome back. You're watching Game On. I am Onyinyechi Ogu Obaroh. Now let's take you deep into what we got in the world of sport. We'll be starting from the disappointing news coming on Monday when a Spanish League B club did announce the termination of contract of a Nigerian international, Kelechi Nwakali. That news came up as a surprise as the Super Eagles midfielder was said that the club has terminated his contract and he won't be with the club till the end of the season. But today, some fresh news did come in as Super Eagles midfielder Kelechi Nwakali, recently asked by the Spanish club CD Huesca, has opened up on the circumstances that had to do with him ending his 3-year working relationship with the club. Nwakali's contract termination was announced by the club website on Tuesday, where they wrote that the club ended the contractual relationship that linked the Barca entity with the footballer and which expired on June 2022. Nwakali, in a statement on Wednesday now, accused the club's sporting director, Ruben Garcia, of being the brain behind the termination of his contract. He said the trouble started when he got the call-up for the Super Eagles squad for the African Cup of Nations, but Garcia did ask him not to honor that invite as it was not an important tournament. Now to analyze this with us on the line is Olaoluwa Aro. He is a sport journalist and also a media consultant that deals with player management. Hello, Ola. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Of course, it's a pleasure. Good evening.
All right, now, we've heard the news. It is clear. But with all that is happening right now, Kelechi Nwakali, his contract terminated, do you think this is really exposing how African players are being treated when it comes to European clubs?
Well, when it comes to football business, the way the foreign clubs treat our players is something that sometimes is awful. It's awful, especially when you have, case like Kelechi Nwakali, which is in the form born now. But majorly, some of these things can be, better addressed, depending on the management, whether it's managing a player or the agency that manages the player. The case of Kelechi Nwakali is not new to me because this is peculiar to clubs, in Spain. It's just unfortunate that the lad couldn't see this coming. Some of us have been in the business of football, transfers of players and all that. We've taken our time to educate some of these Nigerian players or African players who are leaving this continent to let them know, what is obtainable over there. It has to do with gain. This romance that has probably that is not really ending well between himself and Huesca, his club in the Spanish Liga 2. It happened that Kelechi's contract was expiring. Okay, let me say the contract is expiring by middle of this year.
Yeah.
And normally, by the law, or by contractual law in football, a player is open to negotiating with any club when the contract remains 6 months to expiration. So, Huesca wanted him to renew so that in summer, when a potential suitor comes in summer, they can probably make money off the player.
Okay.
Let's imagine Kelechi renew his contract, maybe 2 years. He's going to offer a fresh contract of 2 years, and a club comes calling for 5 to 6 million euros. Definitely, the club will be, the highest beneficiary of something. But if a player does not renew contract, this is where the issue comes from. If a player does not renew contract and the contract expires, after which maybe a club comes, the player goes for free. So the player will be entitled to the transfer fee and some other bonuses. So the club in which the club that is leaving or probably must have left will not benefit anything. So you can see where the issue comes in. It's all about interest. Kelechi is not ready to protect their own interest. They are not also ready to protect Kelechi's interest.
Okay. Ola, at this point, people say that he would have gone on transfer. His contract's about to end by June 2022. They believe if he had gone on transfer or on loan, it will stop the whole thing before he went for the African Cup of Nations. That we would not be talking about these at this point if he had gone on transfer. What's your thought?
Well, you see, the issue that has to do with him coming to the national team is another thing that also, conflagrated the whole matter between himself and the club. Okay. And from what Kelechi's management pushed out about 3 hours ago, to deduce that the matter started from the club director, Huesca club director. So he's been victimizing Kelechi Nwakali. And of course, Kelechi also has got his own side of story. How can you force a player, you didn't tell him anything regarding any potential move in January? You want him to move after we exited the Nations Cup in Cameroon. He's still battling, trying to recover emotionally. So I understand what Kelechi did. Nobody informed him about any potential transfer. And if you look at the statement, critically, there is a particular place where Kelechi's manager said they gave him option: if you don't move in January, you will face disciplinary committee. And they've been victimizing him, which is very bad. Again,
okay.
Another question is what on the part of Kelechi before now. You see, there are issues when you come to a club. Some of these things, when it comes to transfer, you don't keep quiet. You have to address it organizationally. What I mean by organizationally, you have the management, an agency that manages you. They have to approach the club because they are responsible. But Kelechi, feels, okay, maybe we can just address the thing by being quiet. The white people don't think like that. The African players, this is how they treat them. If the club does not need the player, they will treat you badly and frustrate you till you leave the club. Now, okay. I also want to let Nigerians know that this issue of contract termination was not mutual, in the sense that Kelechi's signature was not part of the party that signed the so-called mutual termination of contract. So, wow. If the whole matter now is something that looks like a way of bullying the boy into doing what he's not supposed to do. So,
okay. Ola, before we go right now, because of time, can the Nigerian Football Federation, the Confederation of African Football, or even FIFA interfere at this point?
Is that what?
Can Nigerian Football Federation, the NFF, CAF, and FIFA, can they interfere into the situation at this point?
Well, by the law, if Kelechi makes, a formal complaint to the NFF, of course, they can, come to it. But however, they also have limited power because Kelechi has got representation. That's why FIFA made provision for players intermediaries, which are commonly known as players football agents. So his agency, I don't know which agency Kelechi is, they are responsible, for standing, representing Kelechi if any issue of legal, any legal issue comes up. Again, a player is being on 55,000 euros. You want to pay him off by giving him 15,000 euros. So they are not being fair to him. So it's that time Kelechi also, talks to his management. Of course, there are football lawyers in Europe who can come to his aid. And at the end of the day, I can assure you, if they follow everything critically, Kelechi will be, the biggest beneficiary of this whole crisis. What they are trying to do is to ruin him professionally and mentally.
Thank you so much, Olaoluwa Aro, over there, media consultant, and also a journalist who deals in player management. Thank you so very much for sharing your thoughts there.
All right, it's my pleasure. You're welcome.
Okay, we've gotten that clearance from there. We know for sure that this is not, Kelechi's case is not the first. It is one out of too many. Remember Dennis Bonaventure Emmanuel, who was not allowed to come represent the Super Eagles at the AFCON after Watford refused him from granting that request from the NFF. Ismaila Sarr from Senegal also, but with all the papers, with all the agreements done, he could represent Senegal of course, at the African Cup of Nations, and now they're African champions. Time not our friend. We have to go right now. Of course, do follow, like our social media platform at News Central TV, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I am Onyinyechi Ogu Obaroh. Thank you so much for being there.